I'm Jessica Lombard, Associate Superintendent.
And I'm Superintendent John Berkey, and this is Huntley 158 Today. Well, Jessica, as we all know, we are becoming a more and more interconnected world where we learn and deal with people from other cultures and other countries, and even our own local community is becoming more and more diverse, and that has happened to our school district as well.
Dr. Berkey, we have some guests here today to talk about diversity, specifically a diversity committee that we have here within the district, and I'd like to introduce them. We have Dan and Falguni and Nicole and Kinsey, and so welcome today. And briefly, if you could just introduce yourself and what is your role here? Kinsey?
I am Kinsey Roy. I am the English language specialist for 6th through 12th grade for the district. And I am a part of the diversity committee with these wonderful people as well.
Nicole.
And I'm Nicole Hayashi. I teach 7th grade literacy at Marlowe.
Falguni Desai, and I have been teaching here since 2005, and I teach chemistry at the high school, and I'm a part of this diversity inclusion group.
And I'm Dan Armstrong. I'm the Director of Communications and Public Engagement for the district, and I've been heading the working group for the past couple months.
So Dan, if I can start with you, what is the main overall focus of this group and what you're trying to accomplish?
Well, basically, we are the group that's trying to bring together all of our schools. You know, we have 9 schools within the district, and provide some common understanding, some common protocols, and common values that we enunciate for all of our staff and students regarding diversity and inclusion, which really fits into our district motto of all students always. We want to make sure that we're taking care of the needs and respecting all students of all backgrounds. And we actually got the working group up and going last year. We worked with a large group of parents from the community who were concerned about different things that students were experiencing within the district. And we worked intensively with them, and we actually identified 5 key areas regarding diversity and inclusion. And it's kind of the work of the working group to have a sustained effort to work toward those goals. Those broad areas being curriculum, so integrating diversity and inclusion in a lot of different ways within the curriculum. Safety and security, which is key for all students, obviously. Student life and engagement. Human resources, that is working to increase diversity and inclusion within our staff, and also policy and procedures, kind of formalizing some of those things I was talking about before to ensure that we're working in a consistent and equal manner for all of our students.
Well, the three of you are staff in our secondary systems, middle school and high school, though. We focus on diversity and inclusion all the way down from our early childhood all the way up through our high school. So there are members on the committee from the elementary as well. What are some of the key takeaways or key things that each of you have been working on or gaining from being part of this committee?
I think right now our major focus has been how to make teachers more comfortable with this conversation, because it has to start with the adult in the classroom. And so right now in our meetings, we have been talking more about how to get teachers more comfortable, maybe look at some kind of professional development that can be provided for the teachers. So yes, we talk about a lot of other things, but that is kind of right now our main focus of
kind of building that foundation to have those discussions, and then to know where to go from there.
Because the kids have to be comfortable to come and talk to the teachers, but the teachers have to be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. So that has been our focus right now.
Yeah, we've been talking about how teachers can be facilitators of these conversations without imparting their own opinions, political or otherwise, in those conversations.
What do you think some of the big challenges are for us to make students feel more comfortable who may not, as of now, feel that way?
I work a lot with this in my classroom. I think a lot of it has to do with Huntley's history. I went through the school district. I was born here. So I think that we keep growing and we keep changing as a community. And for a really long time, the schools didn't really reflect a lot of different cultures. And now that it is, it's really important for us to embrace that and to really help students embrace it, because it's hard, I believe, for some of my students to really speak out about their different cultures and diversity for fear that, they're going against the vast majority. So if you put a little bit more excitement into it and you ask them and you're excited about learning about different things, they have a little bit more pride. And I think that kind of breaks down some of the walls that we are kind of working against right now within the buildings.
So some of it just a lack of understanding, or even maybe a little bit of fear of a culture that you don't know a lot about, and helping people become more knowledgeable.
I think that's the main part of it. It's a lot of it comes from just not knowing, and therefore you're not comfortable with it because you've just not been exposed to maybe that accent or that culture or that way of dressing or whatever might be the different thing. But just not knowing that, I think, is the biggest barrier. I think once students become more familiar with different culture, like whichever way, this way or that way, I think that is a conversation that needs to be had.
Definitely, those are the conversations that can start even down in kindergarten and first grade when they have more of that understanding. As they get older and they're going through middle school and high school, that diversity, that inclusion, it's that acceptance is there because they have that understanding.
And I think it might become easier because we are seeing more and more different types of students now in school. Like when I first started in 2005, there wasn't that much, difference, like different kind of students. I think now even like probably a kindergartner today is exposed to more different cultures in the classroom than maybe who's someone who's a senior right now in high school. So I think hopefully it'll get easier for students to be exposed to different types of people.
And I think you hit on that when you say different type of people. The diversity working group is not just looking at diversity and culture. It's talking about diversity and inclusion of all, whether we're looking at religion or we're looking at gender or whatnot.
Socioeconomic status, too, I think is a really important thing that I think we've been trying to address, and other special needs. Diversity can be so many things, and we're not just looking at race, heritage, culture. We're looking at different backgrounds, life experiences, anything like that.
I think one of the things we've learned too is that kids oftentimes are very hesitant to speak out if they do feel uncomfortable. And so I think a lot of this is creating that comfortable environment where if somebody doesn't feel comfortable, they definitely can speak up, or we can better identify that, because we want all students, no matter what their background or their life experiences are, to have a truly equal opportunity to thrive in our school district. Well, I really want to thank the four of you, not just for coming to the show today, but for being a part of this group, because this is very, very important work. And thank you, Dan, for leading this effort. And thank you for watching Huntley 158 today, where we are a destination school district
Where it's all students, always.